Welcome to today's Explainer. Let us dive right into a frustrating daily struggle you know all too well. You eat less, you move more, you do everything right, and the weight is just not moving. Or maybe it moves just a tiny little bit and then it comes right back. Every time this happens, you start blaming yourself, do you not? You think you lack willpower, you think you are just being lazy, but what if the real problem is not your effort at all? What if your physical body is going through a chemical issue and not a willpower issue? Today we are looking at 3 hidden hormones secretly working against you every single day, and we will explore exactly how to fix them so you can finally see the results you actually deserve.
Are you doing everything right but still feeling totally stuck? I really want you to think about that because the guilt you carry around is heavy, but it is entirely misplaced. Your body is not a simple machine or a calculator where calories in and calories out tells the whole story. It is just not that simple. Your body is a highly complex living system run by tiny chemical messengers. These messengers are called hormones. Question yourself right now, what if your weight loss approach was completely ignoring the actual control room of your body? When we treat our bodies like simple math equations, we completely fail to see the living chemistry dictating our metabolism. This is something most people never find out, and it keeps them trapped for years.
It is not willpower. It is completely chemical. These hormones literally control whether your body stores fat or burns fat. They control your deep hunger levels. They control your daily cravings for sweet things. They control your physical energy from morning until night. They even control whether your body aggressively holds onto fat as a deep survival mechanism. When these chemical messengers are balanced, fat loss happens naturally. But when they are disrupted, fat loss becomes almost impossible, no matter how hard you restrict yourself or how long you run on that treadmill. Now that we understand this, let us look at something equally important.
Section 1. The invisible biological blockers. Let us step inside the body and meet the 3 hidden hormones that are secretly running the show.
First up is insulin. Insulin is produced by your pancreas, and its main job in your living system is to manage your blood sugar. Think of it like a strict traffic cop for your energy. When you eat food, especially when you eat sweet sugar, your blood sugar naturally goes up. Insulin comes in to bring that blood sugar down by moving it into your cells for energy. That part is totally normal and very healthy. Let me explain it differently. Without insulin, your cells would starve while sugar just floats around uselessly in your blood. But here is where the massive problem starts. When insulin is kept constantly high, your body simply cannot burn fat. High insulin is a direct chemical signal to lock the doors and store energy. It tells your body to never release that stored energy. In our modern daily lives, for so many people, insulin is high almost all the time because of constant snacking and drinking sugary drinks. We never give the body a true break from digestion. You are literally locking your body in fat storage mode all day long. Question yourself. How many times a day are you sending that storage signal to your body without even realizing it?
Look at the vivid contrast right here. On one side, balanced insulin allows your body to burn fat naturally. It is like leaving the vault door wide open. On the other side, high insulin leaves you locked in storage mode. Studies from leading metabolic research centers indicate that chronically elevated insulin is one of the most common hidden reasons people cannot lose fat even when they severely reduce their food. Let me give you a real example. You could eat just 1,000 calories a single day, but if you graze on processed snacks every 2 hours, your insulin never drops. You are starving, but the doors to your fat stores remain firmly locked. The real twist comes a little later when we see how this connects to stress.
The second hormone is cortisol, your primary stress hormone. It is produced by your adrenal glands and was originally designed for short bursts of intense physical danger. Imagine having to run away from a wild predator to survive a terrible crisis. That spike of energy saves your life. The biological problem today is that modern stress is constant. We face daily work pressure and financial worry and bad sleep and endless screen time. Your brain cannot tell the difference between being chased by a predator and sitting in terrible traffic. It releases cortisol either way. Research points to constant cortisol as a direct trigger for fat storage, mostly in the belly area. Let me say that another way. Your body thinks the world is ending, so it packs on belly fat as an emergency food supply. It breaks down your hard-earned muscle tissue and drives intense cravings for sugar because your survival system genuinely thinks you need quick energy to fight for your life. Question yourself, is your daily lifestyle quietly convincing your body that it is in constant danger?
And that brings us to the third hormone, which is leptin.
Leptin is very interesting. It is produced directly by your fat cells, and its job is to tell your brain when you are full and when your body has enough stored energy to stop eating. When leptin works right, you feel totally satisfied after a meal. But in many people who have tried strict diets or eaten highly processed foods for years, a condition called leptin resistance develops. When leptin resistance develops, your brain literally thinks you are starving. Your fat cells are screaming that you have enough energy, but the brain just can't hear the signal. The communication line is completely cut. So what does the brain do? It dramatically slows your metabolism, and it cranks up your daily hunger, and it holds on to every single calorie it possibly can.
The absolutely crucial point is how they all connect together. High insulin disrupts leptin. Chronic cortisol raises insulin. Poor sleep worsens all three of them. They do not operate by themselves in a vacuum. They feed into each other in a truly vicious cycle. This is exactly why fat loss feels like fighting your own body. Because in basic biology, you actually are fighting it. You are fighting a layered chemical defense system. This is where most people get confused and just give up.
Section 2. Sarah and her hormonal turnaround. We have covered a lot so far, but the most important part is coming right now. Stay with me. What comes next can completely change the way you think about your health. Let us look at a real-life example of how to break this cycle. Take Sarah, a 38-year-old office manager who was eating what she genuinely believed was a perfectly healthy diet. Step 1. She was stuck for 2 solid years. She went to the gym 4 times a week, but the scale never moved even 1 single pound. She felt so frustrated and hungry all the time and completely exhausted. Have you ever felt exactly like that? Step 2. She finally discovers these exact hormone blockers. A health coach helped her realize she was snacking frequently throughout the day on things like granola bars and sweet fruit. It was healthy food on paper, but it was keeping her insulin constantly elevated from morning to night. Plus, her heavy work stress meant she was only sleeping 5 hours a night. Step 3. She made very targeted changes. She stopped snacking between meals entirely, which finally gave her insulin time to drop down to normal levels. She focused on sleeping 8 full hours to lower her stress hormone cortisol. And finally, step 4. Within 10 weeks, she achieved steady, amazing fat loss. The turning point was not starving herself. She did not eat less overall. She just ate differently and changed the timing, allowing her hormones to finally work for her instead of fighting against her. Once you understand this, it can bring a big change in your life. Let us see how this connects to our everyday food choices. Section 3. Fixing your hormones with food. Now we get into the exact science of restoring your natural balance.
Here is your biological cheat sheet: hormone healers versus hormone disruptors. To heal your body, science suggests we need healthy fats and high-quality protein and foods rich in magnesium. These wonderful foods stabilize the chemical spikes. On the disruptor side, we must build deep awareness around reducing refined sugar and seed oils and ultra-processed snacks. Science points to these heavily processed items as direct causes of chronic inflammation in the body. This inflammation significantly worsens both your cortisol response and your leptin resistance. Let me explain it differently. When you eat ultra-processed snacks, you are chemically scrambling the communication lines inside your body. You are creating a storm of false signals. Question yourself: are your daily snacks healing your communication lines or scrambling them even further?
Let us look at the specific whole foods that help you recover. First, we have healthy fats like rich avocado and crunchy nuts. Science suggests these help stabilize your insulin response after meals because they do not spike your blood sugar at all. Second, we have non-starchy vegetables like leafy greens and broccoli. They're packed with natural fiber, supporting really stable blood sugar throughout your busy day. Third, we have whole eggs and hearty lentils. Research points to protein as a powerful tool for making your leptin work better, which brings back that crucial feeling of genuine fullness. Fourth, we have creamy yogurt and kefir. Studies indicate that a healthy gut directly supports good hormone signaling. Finally, we have raw pumpkin seeds and dark chocolate. These are absolutely packed with magnesium, which is heavily involved in making your insulin receptors function properly. I want to motivate you right now to change just one food habit today. Try swapping out that sweet afternoon granola bar for a handful of raw nuts and see how your energy stays so much more stable. Most people make a big mistake right here by thinking all calories act the same way, but food is information for your cells.
Section 4. Dismantling the weight loss myths. Let us take a moment to dismantle the lies that keep people trapped. Here is a truly massive myth. Eating dietary fat makes you store body fat. This is arguably one of the most damaging ideas in our entire food history. Science now strongly indicates that healthy dietary fats do not cause fat storage. Chronically elevated insulin does.
Eating fat when your insulin levels are very low is completely different from eating sugar when your insulin levels are very high. Let me rephrase that so it is super clear. Fat is just a fuel source, but insulin is the switch that tells your body to lock that fuel away. Healthy fat gives you slow, steady energy without triggering the chemical alarm bells that lock up your fat cells. Think about someone eating a plain avocado versus someone eating a sugary donut. The calories might be similar, but the hormonal response is completely different. Question yourself, have you been avoiding healthy fats while secretly spiking your insulin with hidden sugars?
Here is another incredibly common myth. Constant hunger means your diet is successfully working. If you are starving, you must be losing weight, right? Wrong. The science actually shows that constant hunger is a huge warning sign of broken leptin signaling and not a sign of progress. Restoring your hormonal balance should actually reduce your daily hunger over time and never increase it. Let me give you a real example of this. Think about someone doing endless hours of intense running while eating tiny portions of food. They are starving and exhausted, but the scale does not move. That excessive exercise without proper recovery simply raises your stress hormone cortisol, which can completely stall your fat loss and break down your muscles. Starving yourself is not a badge of honor. It is a chemical distress signal. Now that we understand this, let us look at the actionable steps you can take today.
Section 5, the actionable protocol. Let us map out your daily habits to get your body back on healthy track. We have 3 absolute strict steps here. Step 1 is to stop snacking between your daily meals. Giving your physical body extended periods without incoming food allows your insulin to finally drop back down to a healthy baseline. Let me explain it another way. If your body is always digesting, it is never repairing and it is never burning stored fat. That quiet time between meals is the only time fat burning can truly begin. Step 2 is to protect 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep every single night. Research is absolutely clear that even a single night of poor sleep raises your cortisol and makes your leptin signal weaker and significantly harms your insulin function. Sleep is not a luxury, it is a biological requirement for fat loss. Step 3 is to reduce daily stress consistently. Add regular calming activities into your routine. Walk outside in nature without your smartphone, or try deep breathing exercises, or just turn off the bright screens an hour before bed. Science suggests these simple acts directly lower cortisol over time and restore your delicate chemical balance. Let me share a short real-life example of someone who put this all together. Meet David. David was 45 and struggling with deep belly fat that just would not budge no matter how many miles he ran. His turning point was not running more. His turning point was changing his daily signals. He cut out his late-night processed snacks. He started eating hearty protein-filled meals that kept him full. He stopped taking his work laptop into his bedroom so he could actually sleep 8 hours. Within 3 months, David completely transformed his body. His energy levels soared and his constant hunger completely vanished. He did not find a magic pill, he simply restored his natural chemical balance through daily habits. Question yourself, which of these 3 steps can you commit to starting this very evening?
Your health is not a destination you arrive at one day. It is a direction you choose every single day. Small awareness, small choices, small habits, they quietly add up to something much bigger than you realize right now. If this gave you even one useful thought, share it with one person who needs to hear this. That one share can bring this awareness to someone silently struggling, and it helps Wellness Geeks reach more people who truly need this. Like this video and subscribe to Wellness Geeks. If this brought real value to your health journey, look for the Join button next to the Wellness Geeks logo below this video. Click it and become a member of the Wellness Support Circle. Your support gives Wellness Geeks the strength to keep going. Thank you so much for watching and caring about your health.